Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. As we are on the way to learn about English grammar, so how can we forget the clause? A clause is that concept about which every student should have an understanding. So in this video, I will describe the brief introduction about what is clause, how to identify clause in a sentence, and types of clauses. You are watching my YouTube channel SA Prep Center. So what is clause? A clause is a group of words that contains a subject and a verb that have a relationship. Mean to say it consists of a subject and a verb. And we use a clause to form sentence or a part of sentence. For example, I graduated last year. In this sentence, only one clause has been used, and that is I graduated last year. But in other example, when I came here, I saw him. Mean कि जब मैं यहाँ आया मैंने उसे देखा. In this sentence, two clauses has been used. First one is when I came here, and second one is I saw him. Next is how to identify a clause in a sentence. A clause must contain verb. But in contrast, when we read about phrase, we describe there that a phrase should not have a subject or a verb, but a clause must contain verb. Typically, a clause made up of subject, a verb phrase, a sentence, and sometimes a complement. Moving towards its types, there are 6 types of clause. First is independent or main clause. Second one, dependent or subordinate clause. Third is relative or adjective clause. Fourth one, noun clause. Fifth one, adverbial clause. And sixth one, conditional clause. First one is the independent or main clause. It is a clause that stands by itself as a simple sentence, and it contains subject and predicate and make sense by itself, and it expresses complete thought. Mean to say, it can stand alone and does not need any other clause or any other part to make its sense complete. For example, Jim studied in this sweet shop for his chemistry quiz. Second one is the dependent or subordinate clause. A group of words that contain subject and verb but does not express a complete thought. A dependent clause cannot be a sentence, and it always needs independent clause to verify or to explain its meanings. For example, then his sister. It does not give any sense, then his sister. What do you mean by then his sister? But when we complete the sentence using independent clause that I am older than his sister, then it do make sense. Third is the noun clause. A noun clause is a type of dependent clause that acts as a noun in a sentence. For example, I like who you are. मैं जानता हूँ कि तुम कौन हो. I like who you are. In this sentence, who you are make a noun clause. Note, in the noun clause, who you are act as a single noun, specifically the direct object of the verb. Fourth type is the adverbial clause. A dependent clause that functions as an adverb is called adverbial clause. One can identify verb clause by asking when, where, how, why, often, etc. For example, I came here yesterday. You can verify the adverbial clause using where you come yesterday. I came here yesterday. Okay? And fifth one is conditional clause. It consists of main clause and conditional clause, sometimes called an if clause. Conditional clause usually begins with if or unless. Conditional clause comes before or after the main clause. For example, we will be late if we don't leave now. In this sentence, a condition does apply. For example, कि अगर हम इस टाइम तक जल्दी नहीं निकलेंगे, मीन टू से कि हम जल्दी नहीं निकलेंगे तो हम लेट हो जाएंगे. If we don't leave now, कि हम अभी अगर हम नहीं निकलते हैं तो हम क्लास में नहीं पहुंच सकेंगे. ठीक है. सो इससे इधर यहाँ पर एक कंडीशन अप्लाई हो रही होती है. That's why these are called conditional clause. Sixth and the last one is the adjective clause. It is a group of words consisting of noun or a verb preceded by a relative pronoun that modifies the subject or object in the sentence. As you know, adjective is any word that modifies the subject. In the same way, adjective clause do modifies the subject or object but it consists of noun or at least a word. For example, the children are very smart. In this sentence, very smart is an adjective clause because it consists of a noun, which is. So that was the brief description about the clause. Like, subscribe and share my video.